Hare Krishna. Please join me with folded hands for the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam 2nd Canto, Chapter 4, entitled The Process of Creation. Sutta Uvacha Ityupamantritoragya Gunanukathane Hareha Hrishikesha Manusmritya Prativaktum Prachakrame. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, when Shukdev Goswami was thus requested by the king to describe the creative energy of the personality of Godhead, he then systematically remembered the master of the senses, Sri Krishna, and to reply properly, he spoke thus. Purport: the devotees of the Lord, while delivering speeches and describing the transcendental attributes of the Lord, do not think that they can do anything independently. They think that they can speak only what they are induced to speak by the Supreme Lord, the Master of the senses. The senses of the individual being are not his own. The devotee knows that such senses belong to the Supreme Lord and that they can be properly used when they are employed for the service of the Lord. The senses are instruments and elements are ingredients, all endowed by the Lord. Therefore, whatever an individual can do, speak, see, etc., is under the direction of the Lord only. The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 15, confirms this. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. No one is free to act freely and independently, and as such, one should always seek the permission of the Lord to act or eat or speak, and by the blessing of the Lord, everything done by a devotee is beyond the principles of the four defects typical of the conditioned soul. Text 12. Shri Shuka Uvacha Namaha Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sadud Bhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehina Mantar Bhavaya Nupalakshya Vatramane. Translation. Shukdev Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of the material world, accepts the three modes of nature. He is the complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. Purport: this material world is a manifestation of the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And the Supreme Lord, for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world, accepts three predominating forms as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankara or Shiva. As Vishnu, he enters into every body materially created. As Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he enters into every universe, and as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, he enters the body of every living being. Lord Shri Krishna, being the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas, is addressed here as Paraha Puman or Purushottama, as described in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 18. He is the complete whole. The Purushavasaras are therefore his plenary expansions. Bhakti Yoga is the only process by which one can become competent to know him. Because the empiric philosophers and mystic yogis cannot conceive of the personality of Godhead, he is called Anupalakshya Vartamane, the Lord of the inconceivable way, or Bhakti Yoga. Text 13. Bhuyo namaha sad vrajinchi desta masambhavaya khilastva murtaye pumsam punaha paramhansya ashrame vyavasthita nama numrugya dashushe. Translation. I again offer my respectful obeisances unto the form of complete existence and transcendence, who is the liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses and the destroyer of the further advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devoted demons. For the transcendentalists who are situated in the topmost spiritual perfection, he grants their specific destinations. Purport. Lord Shri Krishna is the complete form of all existence, both material and spiritual. Akhila means complete, and that which is not khila, inferior. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, there are two kinds of nature, Prakriti, namely the material nature, and the spiritual nature, or the external and internal potencies of the Lord. The material nature is called apara or inferior, and the spiritual nature is called superior or transcendental. Therefore, the form of the Lord is not of the inferior material nature. He is complete transcendence, and he is murti or having transcendental form. The less intelligent men who are unaware of his transcendental form describe him as impersonal Brahman. But Brahman is simply the rays of his transcendental body, Yasya Prabha. The devotees who are aware of his transcendental form render him service, therefore the Lord also reciprocates by his causeless mercy and thus delivers his devotees from all distresses. The pious men who follow the rulings of the Vedas are also dear to him, and therefore the pious men of this world are also protected by him. The impious and the non-devotees are against the principles of the Vedas, and so such persons are always hampered from making advances in their nefarious activities. Some of them who are specially favored by the Lord are killed by him personally, as in the cases of Ravana, Hiranyakashipu and Kamsa. And thus such demons get salvation and are thereby checked from further progress in their demonic activities. Just like a kind father, either in his favor upon the devotees or his punishment of the demons, he is ever kind to everyone because he is the complete existence for all individual existence. The Paramahamsa stage of existence is the highest perfectional stage of spiritual values. According to Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord is factually understood by the Paramahamsas only. As there is gradual realization of the transcendence from impersonal Brahman to localized Paramatma to the personality of Godhead Purushottama Lord Krishna, similarly there is gradual promotion of one's situation in the spiritual life of Sannyasa, Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajakacarya and Paramahamsa are gradual progressive stages in the renounced order of life. Sannyasa and Queen Kunti Devi, the mother of the Pandavas, has spoken about them in her prayers for Lord Krishna, Canto 1, Chapter 8. The Paramahamsas are generally found among both the impersonalists and the devotees, but according to Srimad Bhagavatam, as clearly stated by Kunti Devi, pure Bhakti Yoga is understood by the Paramahamsas, and Kunti Devi has especially mentioned that the Lord descends Paritranaya Sadhunam, especially to award Bhakti Yoga to the Paramahamsas. So ultimately the Paramahamsas in the true sense of the term are unalloyed devotees of the Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami has directly accepted that the highest destination is Bhakti Yoga, by which one accepts the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Those who accept the path of Bhakti Yoga are the factual Paramahamsas. Since the Lord is very kind to everyone, the impersonalists who accept Bhakti as the means of merging in the existence of the Lord in His impersonal Brahmajyoti are also awarded their desired destination. He has assured everyone in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 11, Ye yatha mam prapadyante. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, there are two classes of Paramahamsas, namely the Brahmanandis, impersonalists, and the Premanandis or devotees, and both are awarded with their desired destinations, although the Premanandis are more fortunate than the Brahmanandis. But both the Brahmanandis and the Premanandis are transcendentalists, and they have nothing to do with the inferior material nature full of the existential miseries of life. Text 14. Namo namastest vrishabhaya satvatam vidur kasthaya muhuhu kuyoginam nirasta samya tisha yena radhasa swadhamani brahmani ramsyate namaha. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto he who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. Purport. There are two sides of the transcendental manifestations of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. For the pure devotees, he is a constant companion, as in the case of his becoming one of the family members of the Yadu dynasty, or his becoming the friend of Arjuna, or his becoming the associate neighbor of the inhabitants of Vrindavana, as the son of Nanda Yashoda, the friend of Sudama, Sridama, and Madhumangala, or the lover of the damsels of Vrijabhumi, etc. That is part of his personal features, and by his impersonal feature, he expands the rays of the Brahmajyoti, which is limitless and all-pervasive. Part of this all-pervasive Brahmajyoti, which is compared to the sun rays, is covered by the darkness of the Mahat Tattva, and the insignificant part is known as the material world. In this material world, there are innumerable universes like the one we can experience, and in each of them, there are hundreds of thousands of planets like the one we are inhabiting. The mundaners are more or less captivated by the unlimited expansion of the rays of the Lord, but the devotees are concerned more with his personal form from which everything is emanating. Janmadi asyayataha. As the sun rays are concentrated in the sun disk, the Brahma Jyoti is concentrated in Goloka Vrindavana, the topmost spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. The immeasurable spiritual sky is full of spiritual planets named Vaikunthas far beyond the material sky. The mundaners have insufficient information of even the mundane sky, so what can they think of the spiritual sky? Therefore, the mundaners are always far, far away from him. Even if in the future they are able to manufacture some machine whose speed may be accelerated by the velocity of the wind or mind, the mundaners will still be unable to imagine reaching the planets in the spiritual sky. So the Lord and his residential abode will always remain a myth or a mysterious problem, but for the devotees, the Lord will always be available as an associate. In the spiritual sky, his opulence is immeasurable. The Lord resides in all the spiritual planets, the innumerable Vaikuntha planets, by expanding his plenary portions along with his liberated devotee associates. But the impersonalists who want to merge in the existence of the Lord are allowed to merge as one of the spiritual sparks of the Brahmajyoti. They have no qualifications for becoming associates of the Lord either in the Vaikuntha planets or in the supreme planet Goloka Vrindavana, described in the Bhagavad Gita as Madhdhama, and here in this verse as the Swadhama of the Lord. This Madhdhama or Swadhama is described in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 15 verse 6 as follows. Na tad bhashyate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. The Lord Swadhama does not require any sunlight or moonlight or electricity for illumination. That Dhama or place is supreme, and whoever goes there never comes back to this material world. The Vaikuntha planets and the Goloka Vrindavana planet are all self-illuminating, and the rays scattered by those Swadhama of the Lord constitute the existence of the Brahma Jyoti. As further confirmed in the Vedas, like the Mundaka, 2nd Canto, chapter 2, verse 10, Katha, 2nd Canto, chapter 2, verse 15, And Shvetasvatara Upanishads, chapter 6, verse 14, Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto ayam agnihi tam eva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasha sarvam idam vibhati. In the Swadhama of the Lord, there is no need of sun, moon or stars for illumination, nor is there need of electricity, so what to speak of ignited lamps? On the other hand, it is because those planets are self-illuminating that all effulgence has become possible, and whatever there is that is dazzling is due to the reflection of that Swadhama. One who is dazzled by the effulgence of the impersonal Brahmajyoti cannot know the personal transcendence. Therefore, in the Ishopanishad 15th verse it is prayed that the Lord shift his dazzling effulgence so that the devotee can see the real reality. It is spoken thus. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham tatatvam pushan apavarnu satyadharmaya drishtaye. O Lord, you are the maintainer of everything, both material and spiritual, and everything flourishes by your mercy. Your devotional service or bhakti yoga is the actual principle of religion, Satya Dharma, and I am engaged in that service. So kindly protect me by showing your real face. Please therefore remove the veil of your Brahmajyoti rays so that I can see your form of eternal bliss and knowledge. With this beautiful translation of the verse from Ishopanishad, we will conclude the second reading for today. I wish you all a very happy, peaceful evening and stay conscious till I see you again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.